Hello, I'm Simon, and welcome to this special episode of Insert Game TV. As you may or may not be aware, Sonic Generations is out in just a few months to celebrate Sonic's 20th anniversary. In this iteration of the rapidly quality declining franchise, Sonic Team hopes to remedy all of its past mistakes by having modern Sonic meet old Sonic and journeys across time through Sonic's back catalogue of levels and worlds. As such, I felt the need as a die-hard Sonic fan to create some kind of info video thing to teach all you young'uns who were probably too young to play the games the first time around where all this source material is coming from. Now, where better to start this retrospective look back on the little blue guy than with origins of where he came from in the first place. Let's skip back 20 years. It's 1991. MS-DOS 5.0 has been released.
It's new!
Terminator 2 is storming the cinemas.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
And a stubby, festively plump plumber was all the rage on home consoles. Sega needed something to compete with Mario. Something cool, something hip, something wow. A rabbit? An armadillo? A dog? No, though they were all considered. A hedgehog was the one that beat them to it. A slow, timid, cowardly, nocturnal animal. Congrats Sega on choosing the world's lamest animal as your flagship mascot. But wait! They made him blue. They gave him little fangs, little super fast red running shoes, put him in a rock band, gave him a human girlfriend named Madonna, and bestowed him with Bill Clinton's get it done attitude. Flagship mascot acquired! Obviously, barely any of these features were kept by the time Sonic's first game, Sonic the Hedgehog, was released in 1991 on the Sega Mega Drive. Or Sega Genesis if you're American. I am not, so I'll be calling it the Mega Drive for the duration of this video. This very first game saw Sonic running very fast, side-scrolling and platforming his way through various stages in an attempt to thwart the then-titled Dr. Robotnik. Collecting rings would protect Sonic from being harmed when hit by an enemy. Hit an enemy with no rings, you die. Those basic principles have remained in all Sonic games throughout his entire history. Flash to a year later, and Sonic returned in the imaginatively titled Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But this time, he wasn't alone in his adventure. This game marks the introduction of Sonic's sidekick Tails, an androgynous mutated fox with two tails who had the ability to fly. This game also introduced a co-op element to the game, as a second person could control Tails as Sonic races through the game. Though, expect to be left behind if you're playing as Tails, this happens a lot. Two further sequels, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, were produced over the next 2 years. Personally, these are my favourite games in the whole franchise. Sonic 3 introduced a whole host of new features, including another new character, a villain, Knuckles the Echidna, various powered bubbles for Sonic and the ability to fly as well with Tails at will. In Sonic & Knuckles, Knuckles became a playable character and could glide, somehow. Dreadlocks mean you can fly, right? Either way, it turns out Knuckles was in fact cheated by Robotnik into thinking Sonic was the bad guy who'd stolen all the Master Emeralds, keeping his home, Angel Island, afloat. Twists and turns abound. Oh, here's something you might not know about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Michael Jackson was reportedly drafted in originally to write the music for the game, though with all the scandals that were going on with Michael at the time, Sega didn't give the poor guy any credit and reworked all of his songs. Fabulous drama. Skipping past the worst of the next few released Sonic games, Sonic 3D, we arrive in 2001, where Sega's fancy new console, the Dreamcast, was launched. This all-powerful console brought our blue hero truly into the third dimension, with Sonic's first fully 3D outing in Sonic Adventure. This also marked the first time Sonic the Hedgehog spoke real words. Voiced by Ryan Drummond, his Bill Clinton get-it-done personality was finally realised.
Oh yeah! This is happening!
Also, Robotnik was hereby known as Eggman. What? This also marked a time for me where Sega started getting it all wrong. There were 6 playable characters, each with their own interweaving story that took itself far too seriously with some of the worst voice acting recorded. Probably worse than me right now.
Long time no see!
Amy!
Each character played totally differently, hub worlds that don't tell you where to go, the dreaded Big the fucking cat and his fucking frog.
Oh man, where could that pollywog cow be anyway?
Ugh, actually, the least said about this game the better. Fast forward to its sequel, Sonic Adventure 2, and this is probably my second favourite Sonic game. They dropped the awful hub worlds and introduced everyone's favourite emo, Shadow the Hedgehog, and the sluttiest character yet, Rouge the Bat. Incidentally, the award for worst Sonic character name goes to none other than Cream the Rabbit. Yes, really. Cream the Rabbit. Anyway, this game saw the story break up into two halves, Hero and Dark, and the characters were divided up into three classes, whose levels played very differently: speed, hunting, and action. Sonic and Shadow took speed levels where you'd race through a stage as fast as you could, Knuckles and Rouge would take hunting levels where you'd hunt for shards of the Master Emerald, and action stages saw Dr. Robotnik, Eggman, and Tails shoot enemies and collect dreams. The speed levels are really where this game shone through, with some of my favourite Sonic levels to date. Let's skip over a lot of the rubbish that followed. So that would be Sonic Heroes, the 2006 hugely terrible Sonic the Hedgehog, the acceptable Sonic and the Secret Ring, the awful Sonic and the Black Knight, and all of the Sonic Riders, to name but a few. It's now 2008, and Sonic Unleashed is on the way. A promising looking Sonic game which marries the speed of Sonic with beautiful graphics. What could go wrong? Oh right, the inclusion of a werehog. The thing about Sega is that they seem scared to actually make a Sonic game without a gimmick, as if the speed alone isn't enough. This game was played over two level types: daytime levels where Sonic would speed through as fast as possible, and for most part I really enjoyed these bits. They were great, but then there's the nighttime parts, where Sonic is a werehog. A werehog! Where you fight repetitive enemies for up to 10 minutes, sometimes up to 40 minutes just to extend gameplay. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But wait, what's this in 2010? Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1? A sequel to my favourite games of old? In HD? Yes! Let's do this! I thought to myself. Only to be hugely let down by how bland it was. Seriously, if you want a lesson in how to shit on your dreams, this one's for you. I'm not even going to spend much time on this. In fact, I'm stopping here. 2010 did see another Sonic outing though, in the form of Sonic Colors on the Wii. This game was actually pretty damn good. Sonic's voice actor was replaced by the guy who does Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 5, and the writing was actually funny. Gone is Bill Clinton's attitude. He's now replaced with a bitchy soul of Got One.
So, how about you and me make like Eggman's hairline and recede?
In this game, we see Sonic and Tails go to Eggman's new space theme park. Turns out he's captured a bunch of aliens and using them as slaves. It's up to our bitchy blue hero and his fabulous sidekick to save the day with the help of the aliens. Honestly, I think this is one of the better Sonic 3D games. Not the best, but certainly a cut above the rest. Now that it's 2011 and we've caught up with ourselves, let's take a gander at Sonic Generations. I don't know much about the story or all the levels that the game will be revisiting just yet, but let's get excited, shall we? As classic Sonic, you play through the levels in a strictly 2D side-scrolling way similar to how he used to play. As modern Sonic, you play through the same worlds but alternating in 3D forward-running sections and side-scrolling. This game promises to be the best 3D outing yet for our Lightning Hedgehog. He's hoping, and there you go. Hopefully you're all caught up on things Sonic the Hedgehog now and ready for Sonic Generations. See you next time.